Halo Bil.
Keluar ya.
Hai Nick.
When Ignatius at Loyola for a recovery after his battle in Pamplona, and when he did self-isolation in a cave of Manresa.
When Ignatius was studied in Paris, he had ever visited people who were suffering plague pandemic. At that time, in Paris, the plague pandemic was begun.
When he studied in Paris, at the time the plague was beginning to spread in Paris, he had a chance to visit the house of those who got infected by plague.
Feels like isolation for me, like we have been experiencing right now, social and physical distancing as well.
According to the autobiography of Saint Ignatius, there were two events of epidemic that Ignatius experienced in his life. First, when he was in the way to the Venetia, 1523, and second, when he was in Paris, 1528 until 1535. In both events, he had to sleep outside because of other people afraid that he had contracted the plague and to avoid contagion. When he was on the way to Venetia, he cannot enter the cities because he took pill. When he was in Paris, he cannot enter Saint Barbara because others knew that he entered the house that had plague. The thing was very interesting was he tried to console the people who had that disease in Paris. It is not enough with words. It touched stick by his hand on the infected places. After that, his hands started to move. He thought he got the disease. That image was so powerful. To ease that image, he put his hand to his mouth and said, "If my hand got plague now, my mouth too." After that, his painful was eased. I don't know that this is action either brilliant or careless. For Ignatius, the concern to the sick in hospital in the time of plague or not was always important. It was shown in letter to the fathers attending Council of Trent of that they were asked to visit the poor in hospital. At least I found two similarities between the condition of plague in Ignatius' era and the current pandemic. First, people afraid. In some cases, this feeling brings unnecessary prevention, even push away sense of solidarity and exaggeration, image of self-condition. Second, false information. People are easy to believe everything that they hear about the pandemic, and sometimes this led to confusion.
First, in 1523, when he was gonna go to Venice,
The threat of pestilence was so great and he decided to sleep outside the wall. There was an interesting moment that one morning on rising, he saw a man fleeing from him in terror because Ignatius' face was ascended. The story like this: pursuing his journey, he reached Jesua with several others who had joined him on the road. There he learned that he would not be allowed to enter the city. He then proceeded with his companions to Padua to get the testimony of a notary that the party was not stricken with the plague. Ignatius could not, on account of his weakness, keep pace with the others and was left alone in an open field. Then Christ appeared to him as he had appeared on former occasion. By this vision, he was greatly strengthened on and consoled. Second, when Ignatius was in Paris. At that time, the plague was beginning to spread in Paris. At that moment, there was a monk approached Dr. Fragus and begged his aid in visiting a house in which there were many corpses of those whom he thought died of it. Dr. Fragus and Ignatius wished to visit the house and procured the aid of a woman who was very skillful in detecting the disease. After she had entered the house, she answered that the plague was certainly there. Ignatius also entered and consoled and revived a sick man he found lying there. When he had touched the wounds with his hand, Ignatius departed alone. His hand began to cause him great pain, and it seemed as if he had caught the disease. The fear that came upon him was so great that he was unable to vanquish and drive it away. And then with a great effort, he placed his fingers in his mouth, and for a long time kept them there, saying, "If you have the plague in your hand, you will also have it in your mouth." As soon as this was done, the illusion left him and the pain he had felt in his hand.
I guess Ignatius will keep staying at home, reading some books, or maybe responding to his feeling of desolation in this pandemic situation.
In that pandemic situation, Ignatius disturbed to visit them. Ignatius tried to give them encouragement, empathy, and touch them. But as a human, Ignatius also felt anxious, scared to serve them because if the pandemic contracted him. But Ignatius tried to fight this perception with Acara contra. I thought Ignatius tried to not fear because it is come from temptation to serve others.
Of course, he helped them. When though he afraid, he did Acara contra to overcome his fear.
I think he's trying to. Ignatius needs a long period of time of recovery after Pamplona, and it feels like an isolation from me. If he were still here, I think he still look out for the unexpected ways of God might be working, like how God began to get into Ignatius' heart during his recovery.
I can imagine, as a leader of the society or even as a person, Ignatius will do what the government or any health organization say to prevent the spreading this pandemic. It is like what he did when he was on the way to Venetia. He did not enter the city and try to get health certificate in Padua as the rules said so. The other thing that he will do is use all means that he has or the society has. It can be prayer, spiritual direction, visitation, or research in any field that we can do. Of course, he will try to increase the solidarity to the victim and to everyone who are infected. First, he will obey what WHO said, like doing physical distancing, avoiding touching, for instance, hugging, shaking hands, putting on masks. Second, he will be a volunteer in hospital as a spiritual supporter. In this situation, the patient may need spiritual and support to encourage the mental and spiritual health. Recovery process is not only supported by physical support like medicine, medical staff, or any operation, but also mental and spiritual supports as well. Those can help the patient to make hope and deepen faith to God in this difficult situation. I think Ignatius is good in giving spiritual advices and support. Third, he would pray to God unceasingly so that this pandemic will be unnecessary. Pray for the scientists who are working to discover the vaccine. Pray for the souls of the pandemic victims and pray for the healthcare who are fighting for COVID-19 patients' lives.
We know that Saint Ignatius has time like us who stay at home after he lost in the war in Pamplona. In the time of pandemic COVID-19, we know that we spend most of the time at home and with them, had many time to communicate with parents and other family members. Before COVID, we spent at home less than 8 hours and communicate less. It become awkward feelings to communicate with them. My question is, how we can communicate with them if we have difficulties in the beginning of conversation, also in the time of stay at home with family. Thank you.
Hi, Pater Luis and Pater Nico. My name is Michael. As we know, this pandemic has changed our daily habits, such as interaction with others using internet, and also religious community activities, such as online mass and also catechism. Even after this pandemic over, we should limit the crowd, and many aspects of our behavior will change, including seeking the new way for community activities. My question to you is, did Saint Ignatius teach us to adapt to the new conditions and at the same time keeping our faith together? Thank you.
Hello, Father. Greetings from Indonesia. I'm Ibra with our CLC friends from Indonesia. Thank you for sharing with us such a detailed description about Ignatius and especially about the faith in the time of pandemic. Such a coincidence that we are starting to have a study on the book Pilgrim's Journey to understand more about the life and the situation around Ignatius' life on that Middle Age. Your description and the movie Ignacio from the Philippines is it really help us to have a deeper sense about what happened back then. Yet, some of our friends are intrigued about the picture on the e-flyer because the picture depicts Ignatius as bold when he surrendered sword to Mary, but it kind of ruins the imagination of Phantom Ignatius in the movie. Can you describe us more about its appearance back then, from time to time during its life, and it's also beneficial if we can get the sense of the situation was like when they have the pandemic in Paris, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you.
Hello, Father Luis.
Hello.
Hello,
Here
¿cómo
I am.
está? Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, buenos días. Aquí es por la mañana.
Bueno. I cannot speak Spanish, but I just can greet you.
Of course, I'll do my best to understand your English and respond you in English also.
Okay, thank you. This is just a check sound. We will have a short break, and then the host will notify me to start the meeting. Okay?
It's okay. So,
Jesuit collaborators and viewers everywhere, good afternoon and welcome to our Zoom conference as part of a series in preparation for the 500th anniversary of the conversion of Saint Ignatius Loyola after he was wounded at the Battle of Pamplona. Selamat datang para hadirin dan para pendengar yang bisa bergabung dengan kita di acara Zoom ini. Ini adalah acara untuk persiapan memperingati 500 tahun pertobatan Santo Ignatius next year. This Zoom conference will be held in English for the first session and then Bahasa Indonesia in the second session. My name is Popo. I'm your moderator this afternoon. I'm a Jesuit scholastic from Jakarta. Today, we are going to talk about faith in the time of pandemic, lessons from Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Ignatius is no stranger to illness, diseases, plague, epidemic, even lockdowns, and PSBB for instances. We hope to gain some insight from what he did or discerned back then. How did he cope with the situation of the epidemic? Or how did he deal with his illnesses? How did God form him, mold him to become the saint we all know and love? And it is an honor for me to introduce some of our audiences in the Zoom conference. We have 60 participants. Amazing. Besides the Jesuit scholastic in Jakarta and Jogja, we are also joined by members of group accompanied by Jesuits. There are representatives from Magis Indonesia, Christian Life Community, and Mitra Ignasian. Also, some members of the Vocation Promotion Program, Future Jesuits. And there is also Father Sunu. Welcome, Father Sunu, the Provincial of Indonesia Province, and Father Bambang Socius to the Provincial. Welcome. Nice to see all of you in good health. And this afternoon, we reach out to Salamanca, Spain, to learn from the experts of Ignatius life and Ignatian spirituality. And we are joined today with our special guest, Pater Luis Lopez-Yarto Elizalde. Hola, Father Luis. Welcome and buenos tardes.
Welcome.
Hello. Nice to meet you. It is a pleasure to have you on this show.
Oh, it's nice for me too, being here with you.
Thank you. And as an introduction to the audience, I will read a bit of your profile.
Well,
Right? It said here you entered the society in 1952. It's a long time ago, pre-Vatican Council. Yeah. And you did your theology studies in Innsbruck, 1962, and also you studied psychology at Columbia University, New York. From 1970 to 2003, you are a lecturer of social psychology at Comillas University, Madrid, therapist and writer, and later on you served as Socius Provincial of Toledo y Castilla Province until 2008. And then from 2008 to 2019, you are Secretary of Assistancy for South Europe, Curia Rome, Spiritual Director at Bellarmino House, Rome. And we have one priest here who did his spiritual direction with you. If you remember, Father Tommy Subarjo.
Ciao Luis. Come stai?
ciao, Tommy. How are you? Hey, Tommy.
Sto bene.
Sì.
Non ci sentiamo da tempo.
Speak English, please.
Okay.
He's just showing off. Father Tommy now is in tertianship in Girisonta, Semarang. And right now, Father Luis, you are the secretary of Jurnal Manresa, a journal about Ignatian spirituality. Wow, such an amazing and impressive track record and profile. We are looking forward to hear you speak later in the first session. I would also like to call out and introduce Father Nico Octariano. Halo, Romo Nico, apa kabar?
Baik.
Baik, ya. Sehat-sehat?
Sehat.
Luar biasa, kelihatan makin gemuk di Spanyol ya. Baik, Romo Nico is an Indonesian Jesuit studying Ignatian spirituality in Salamanca. He entered the society in the year 2000 and ordained to priesthood in 2011. He previously served as Vice Principal of Student Affairs at Loyola College Semarang, Minister of Holsani, and a formator in Martoyudan Minor Seminary. Bersama Romo Nico di Spanyol ada Diakon Peter di Madrid yang nanti akan sharing tentang pengalaman mereka di Spanyol terkait dengan COVID-19. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we will have two sessions. The first half will be done in English. We will listen to Father Luis about more or less 15 minutes, followed by a question and answer section. And later on the second half, we will have a sharing session in Bahasa Indonesia. We will listen to Father Nico, Diakon Peter, or maybe also with Frater Dani in Spain, sharing about some activities done amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. We will also offer an open forum for some of you who would want to share your experience, the ups and downs of coping with the pandemic so far. Before we start, I would like to highlight some rules for question and answer in session 1. You can post your questions via chat starting now, either on YouTube or Zoom. Please state your nickname, address or community, and your question briefly. Our team will compile it, and hopefully you can write your questions in English, and it will certainly make my job easier. But otherwise, if you are also free to raise a question in Bahasa Indonesia, and we will help to translate it for you. And without further ado, let us begin our first session. Pater Luis, the time is yours. Please, we look forward to hearing your insights.
Well, thanks. Then I'm going to try to be brief and to speak in understandable English, which I have forgotten so much. The title was Faith in the Time of Pandemic, Lessons from Ignatius of Loyola. Really, sickness and epidemic situations were always teaching Ignatius. It's not Ignatius who teaches us. He was always learning something from diseases and sickness. If you have read some biographies or articles, you know that Ignatius was born from the first second of his life with a sickness, we could say. At least psychoanalysis would call it a sickness. He lost his mother in the moment of his birth, so he was wearing a wound, a profound wound in his soul and body all his life, while other of his sisters and brothers had not to earn the esteem and love of his father. He had to fight for being esteemed and loved, because he was guilty somehow of the death of his father. This, some say, and with them also, it's my case, that this is the origin of the magis. He had to do always something more than the others to be alive, to do things, to be esteemed. You know how that first wound was teaching something to Ignatius. A second moment, very important for me in his life, was 15, 16, 40, 20 years later in other place. This first one was at Loyola. The second sickness was in Arevalo, a small city in the center of Spain, where he was serving and receiving a formation to become, for maybe, a minister of the government of the kings of Spain. And he had that strange and terrible sickness called, I will read it, atrophic rhinitis or coryza fetida. What's this? It consists in the atrophy of the nasal mucosa that causes a stinky and purulent secretion, so that people can't tolerate you, can't approach you, because you really stink. This was the case of Ignatius. So, first time in his life that he felt absolutely alone, isolated from others. What did he learn? All others say that it was there that he learned empathy with others, empathy with sick people, with those who provoked rejection. This in 1 year he was already a new healthy, and so it was not a very strong thing, but really the consequences were magnificent for us. The young person, the young lay person who has in his soul a new empathy for others. Third occasion I would tell you rough account. It's the one in Pamplona and this first lockdown at Loyola. This you know better than me. But what happened there, really, inside of that person? What's the lesson we have to learn? Or the lesson he learned in that occasion? Three stages. The wound, shock. The lockdown, being alone, reflection. And change of attitudes and objectives in his life. This sequence will be repeated more than one time in his life. Shock, wound, might be a sickness, might be a wound. Isolation, reflection, meditation, and change of attitudes and objectives in his life. Loyola, you know the change. He changed from being a lay person who wanted to become a minister of the government to a power pilgrim who wants to visit the Holy Land. Nothing more concrete. Third occasion was Manresa, where he was very sick because of the asceticism he imposed to himself. Never ate meat, a little piece of bread, little water, nothing more. So he became sick. The isolation succeeded in that cave of Manresa. Some of you know, he wrote the exercises. This is the fruit of meditation, looking inside of himself. And the result, the third step was change of objectives and attitudes. It's then in Manresa that then he became he moderated the ascetic impulses, and he became a man of spirit, a man of spirit and action. Another point of his life I wanted to put in front of you is much later, when after having studied and being a doctor in theology or a master in theology, when he with his companions come to Rome. He returned. He had been there before, the others not. We are in the year 1538. They arrived to Rome in a very cold, freezing winter, and they find there a real situation of pandemic. Pandemic is a new word. It means an epidemic situation that affects the whole world. Pan signifies in Greek whole, the whole world. They didn't know the whole world. But there was an epidemic. People were dying in the streets. Rich people were closed in their houses, in their palaces in Rome, defending themselves from freezing cold, hunger, and malaria. I don't know if you say malaria.
Yeah.
Italy has had the epidemics of malaria until 1936. 1936. So, what was the reaction of Ignatius, who had learned already empathy, compassion to others, who was a man of spirit, who wanted to serve people? You can read in his biographies the reaction of those men. They lived together in the third house they took they had in Rome for 2 years, in Via dei Delfini. Some of you know the place where the Society of Jesus was going to be founded. In that place, the reaction was this: every day, those 12 persons, young men, who were real beggars, asking for almonds through the streets, used to get out of house every afternoon and take those dying or at least sick people lying in the streets and bring them home. I've had in my hands the acts of this situation that count around 300 people taken in their home every day. Along the winter must have been around 3,000 people taken in Via dei Delfini. Today, that house exists and is the embassy of Poland in Rome. It does not belong to us, but you can read a wonderful scripting in the facade that says in this house was left together Saint Ignatius, Saint Peter Faber, Saint Francis Xavier, and here was founded the Society of Jesus. The Society of Jesus was born out of compassion in an epidemic situation. I think I've been speaking too long already, but the conclusion is this. Illness makes Ignatius feel vulnerable, isolated, life-changing, helping other sick people. But I would repeat the word vulnerability. If we would learn in this occasion to accept that we are not omnipotent in this 21st second, I don't know how to say this, in our time. We are not omnipotent. We are vulnerable. Out of this vulnerability might come out compassion, helping attitudes, and a new objective in our lives. I don't know if this is what you expected, but now there's time to respond your questions, I think. I've received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I don't know if I should start with these questions or listen to others.
Please, Father, you can start with the questions given to you first, and then we can open a forum of question and answer.
Because a person called Rio, do I say well?
Yes,
Rio,
correct.
from Promotion Vocation, puts a question that says, we know that St. Ignatius has time like us, or stay at home after the loss, or etc., etc. My question is, how we can communicate with them, our families, if we have difficulties in beginning of conversation, also in the time of stay at home with family? It's a terrible question. I think we should try to learn how to be silent, a useful silence. Silence for listening. Learn to listen to others. Silence for reflecting. Silence for meditation. Well, the word is silence as you're listening to me. Silence to be able to open our heart to new stimuli. One thing that this pandemic situation has created in our world, at least in our Spanish cities, the cities I've been living in this last time, it's been silence. Everything was so quiet. No cars in the streets, nobody disturbing this in somehow terrible silence. No, I don't speak of this silence. I speak of inner silence that makes us able to listen to others, to have empathy with others. Second question was from Michael, also from promotion, for vocation promotion. My question is, did St. Ignatius teach us to adapt to the new condition, at the same time keeping our faith together? This is terrible. Adapt to the new condition. This means that maybe Michael believes in big changes after the pandemic. Well, as I'm going to tell you later, I don't believe too much in great changes after this pandemic, nor social, neither personal changes. We are going to be the same persons we were before. Only those who have fought a little bit against themselves will change. We are in desolation now. Ignatius would tell this. And one can get out of desolation. If one settles in the desolation, one gets on the way to getting sick. A psychologist speaks now. To get out of desolation is to talk about a spiritual combat, as it has been classically said by our saints and mystics. This cannot be forgotten in any way, because following the Lord Jesus does not come magically. We follow him in this fascinating but complex and broken world, in this world of ours, to cast out desolation. It is essential to look straight ahead and communicate fears and apprehensions. Communicate. To whom? To a good confessor, to another spiritual person, to a good friend. It is impossible to do it alone. It is not possible to do it alone. Get out of desolation. The lonely person is destined to make his own sicky and toxic world for himself and for those around him. Don't be afraid of your fear. Fears faced humanized us. This is my opinion. Let me see now another.
Thank you. Gracias, Father Luis, for your response to the two questions. For interactive purposes, I think it is time for me to open the forum to anyone wanting to ask questions. Firstly, from the ones in the Zoom meeting, are there anybody who wants to? There is one from Nicolaus David. You can turn on your microphone and then you can ask directly to Father Luis, please.
And I'll do my best to answer.
Or I will just read it for you. Nicolaus David. He is a Jesuit scholastic in Hermanum College, Jakarta, studying philosophy. And then his question is this: how does the Jesuits in Spain help or accompany the poor and homeless people, which have no good access for protection from coronavirus pandemic?
Well, there's so many actions. We are many Jesuits in Spain. We were 6 provinces only 4 years ago. So the diversity is huge, is high. But one of the ways I can mention is opening our houses to isolated persons and to immigrants who in this country are the person more exposed to virus. The immigrants from Northern Africa and South America, but most of all from Northern and also Southern Africa, Middle Africa, Central Africa. Are millions now of immigrants. It's about 12% of the populations. This means more than 5 million immigrants. Those are the real poor in our society. And those are now, we have opened some of our communities, for example, one in the north, Durango, others in different places, to people in special danger, to protect them in the isolation, to offer them an opportunity to be free of contagion. This is one thing we do. Others, we receive the daily news of the province, and I could count for so many. But maybe I have heard that some scholars, Indonesian scholars, would be with you in the second part of this.
Yes, correct. And
maybe they can tell you
they will
more.
elaborate more on it. And we have another question, an interesting question from YouTube, from Brother Jen from Thailand. Thailand, yeah. Thailand. He has listened to you talking about desolation, so he asked how to find consolation from this pandemic. How can we experience the grace of God through this pandemic?
Listen, the pandemic situation is composed of 2 types of people. Those who suffer the illness, like me. I've been 1.5 months with the virus in my body. In that time, I was really, really desolated. I think this was in desolation. But it turned to consolation when I started to receive this as a real gift of the Lord, to feel, maybe for the first time of my life, vulnerable and having dividing with Jesus the situation of Gethsemane. I repeated so many times the words of Jesus. I don't want this situation, but if this is your will, let's suffer with you, not alone. And following the steps of Jesus, putting my feet on top of the blood he has left, consolated me a lot. This is a person who's suffering with sickness, but the pandemic, it's also suffered with so many others who don't have a virus in their bodies, but suffer the economic consequences, because the worst part of the pandemic is already to come. And there will be so many jobless people who were losing all they have, and they were also going to lose their work, their jobs. For them, the only way, of getting out of this situation of deep desolation would be feeling solidarity. Feeling solidarity, I think. And this depends on other people. A person alone they can't be able to get out of that terrible social situation without the help, the solidarity of others. Oh, if we have learned a little solidarity in this situation, we would be very happy. It's difficult to respond out of a, Is there another question that would maybe easier than this one?
Thank you for
don't be afraid of your fear. This would be a good counsel also. When you're in desolation, you have to be like Ignatius. I have a citation, I think. Wait a little bit. No. In the rules of the first week, St. Ignatius tells us that in temptation, this means in desolation, in the face of what is presented as dangerous and threatening, in the face of what we can nullify and paralyzing us, we must keep our eyes straight and put a name to it. Never denial. The denial is our enemy. Put a name to what's happening. Put a lot of face. And then the enemy, the threat, becomes weak and discouraged, does not take over, does not block us. This is the rule 12. Read it in the exercises, first week.
Yes, thank you, Father, for your insightful response question. I'm surely that several questions regarding how to be grateful in pandemic, how to achieve consolation in pandemic, is answered by you very, very clearly regarding how to see it as a grace to be together with Jesus, suffering, to be closer to your own vulnerability, and then also to see it as a way to have a better way to listen to God's will in this pandemic. I think we have another question from a seminarian in Central Java. Let me read it for you. His name is Yoga. Good evening, fathers. I am a seminarian from Indonesia, and Indonesia's government has application of new normal. New normal means while the numbers of viruses are still rising, the government is opening up the country again to a lot of
new normality.
New normality. New normality. Yeah. And my question is, what will I do as a seminarian? What can I do as a seminarian? Do you
what
have?
Can I do?
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions? We have Father Leo Sardi here, also the rector of the seminary.
Well, what does this mean, new normality? I don't believe too much. As I told before, in a new normality. The situation will pass. Those who had a lot of money before will have more after the pandemic. Those who have very little will have less. So let us do as we did before. Let's be ourselves, the same we were before, but strongly. The great difficulty we will find will not be illness, will be social gap, social differences, will be the poor, that we became poorer than before. What can we do? Create a conscience, a new conscience. This is new. A new conscience of social difficulties. Because, as I told you before, sickness will pass. We will win this war against the virus. It's not so sure that we will win this social fight. We will be fought strongly, and maybe we lose the battle, as we will be losing for centuries. So, what do I do with the seminarians? Talk to them about these terrible consequences. Not let them close their eyes towards this situation. Not to let them believe that once we have a vaccine or a treatment against the virus, everything's okay. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no. The consequences will be more than other things, social and economic. And I don't see a great amount of solidarity among countries, and so and social structures. So this will be my poor answer. Give a name to this new situation. That's very old.
Thank you, Father Luis.
Thank you for being so clear.
Creating a new conscience, that is very, very challenging. Yeah, and hopefully we can develop it together in solidarity with one another. There are still a lot of questions, but due to the time, I will limit some and I will select a few more, maybe two more, and then we will end the first session, and you may continue with your daily activities. I will read 2 more questions for you.
Read them to me.
Yeah. Wait
as you do it so clearly.
Yeah. Wait for a moment. There is a question from Gary, a member of the Magis youth community in Jakarta. It is quite challenging, the question. How do we stay faithful to our religious vocation in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic?
To our religion.
Vocation.
No. We have to remain loyal to our Lord Jesus Christ. Don't make an idol. Don't adore idols. And money is an idol, of course. Honors are idols. But also religion might be an idol. No, we will start reading with new intensity the gospel. We will have to become more deeply in contact with Jesus. We have to be more loyal to our Christian community. You know that I am reinterpreting the question. Of course, he doesn't speak of religion, but of vocation, which is much more appealing, of course. But I take the occasion to say this. Renew our relation with our roots, with the person which moves our motivations, our impulses, our convictions. This renewal, I think, it's necessary. It's necessary. I think this is a good occasion also to renew a ecumenical movement, to feel in contact with the deep truth of other Christian denominations, even with other religions. Discover the real deepness of our faith. This is a little revolutionary, but because it sounds that we have to lessen the importance of norms. No, it's not my intent. The message would be, we can only overcome this terrible and threatening situations for our faith, deepening our feelings and convictions towards the person who's in the center of our faith. Discover again the persons of Jesus. That's all.
That sums it all up. It's very, very, it's a very, very clear point that can answer all the other questions, in my opinion. How to,
oh my goodness, great.
how to recenter our views about Jesus, renew our views with the gospel, and then truly transform ourselves in the midst of the pandemic. I think more or less all the questions are mostly the same, asking about how to turn consolation, how to turn to consolation, how to turn to empathy, how to turn to compassion and solidarity. And I think most of your answers already covered it. And
it's wonderful that this similarity of the questions means that we are sharing the same situation, and that we are more similar than we believed before. Really, we are so many things in common.
Yes, Father. Thank you once again.
Thank you to you.
You have any last remarks before we end the first session?
No. Tell me. I wouldn't like to dramatize the situation. The people are suffering and are living many other very important situations that have not to do with this pandemic situation. So the message would be an attitude. I would, if I could, cultivate in my place, in my community, is the attitude called by me transcendental sense of humor. Look at all this with a little transcendental, because it's founded in the conviction that the real thing lies in God. Sense of humor. We are still the same we were before. We're capable of reading a novel, of singing a song, of sharing a poetry with others. Sense of humor. Let this stupid phrase finish my intervention. Transcendental sense of humor. Because sense of humor gives the real worth to everything in this world. The only person that has really a real sense of humor is God. God is omnipotent, is good, is so many things. But he is not serious. God had sense of humor and knows that this is a very little thing in comparison with many others in history, past and future.
Thank you. Gracias, Father Luis.
You're welcome.
Well said.
Give my goodbye to my friends there. Dwi is not there in the audience.
Dwi is there. Father Dwi is in Jakarta right now.
But not with you.
Not with me. My next door neighbor. You can turn on your microphone, Father Dwi.
Hello. Hello, Father Luis.
Dwi.
How are you? Nice to meet you again.
Well, Mr. Doctor. Are you doing good use of your doctorate?
I think so, yeah. The scholastic must answer your question.
Of course.
He is teaching history.
So okay. It's good to see you.
Okay, Father. Before we end the first session, we want to take a photo with you with the Zoom. So I invite all the audience in the participants in the Zoom meeting to turn on your camera, and then Frater Septian will capture this moment together with you. Please, Septian, you can turn on your microphone to tell us if it is done.
Okay, let us taking a picture. 1, 2, 3. Wait, I will take for the second part, and then 1, 2, 3, and then the last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, Popo.
Yes, thank you. Again, thank you, Father Luis. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
We wish you good health and happiness in your daily routines. You are free to leave the meeting if you wish to do so. Goodbye and God bless you.
Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye to you. You've been so facilitating. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, friends, we are going to continue with our second session. Our second session will be done in bahasa Indonesia, dalam bahasa Indonesia. Tapi sebelumnya saya paling tidak ingin merangkum beberapa hal dari apa yang Pater Luis sampaikan. Dia berbicara banyak soal bagaimana kita mentransformasi diri dari desolasi menjadi konsolasi. Bagaimana kita memperbarui cara kita memandang dan membaca Injil. Bagaimana di tengah pandemi ini kita juga memusatkan kembali perhatian kita pada Kristus. Dan pada akhirnya memastikan bahwa bersama Ignatius kita juga membuat ruang refleksi, membuat ruang untuk hening, membuat ruang untuk melihat kembali diri kita dalam relasi kita dengan Allah. Dan sebagai pesan pemungkas gitu ya, pesan terakhir dari Pater Luis, tadi kita diingatkan untuk tidak lupa memiliki sense of humor, transcendental sense of humor, dan untuk melihat bagaimana Tuhan bekerja di dalam keseluruhan aktivitas kita. Kita mungkin tidak berubah 100%, tetapi pasti ada yang berubah dari diri kita di tengah pandemi ini. Untuk itu kita juga ingin bertanya kepada Romo Nico yang ada di Spanyol bersama dengan Frater Dani dan dan Diakon Peter di sana. Nah, mungkin mulai dulu dengan Romo Nico. Bagaimana Romo? Kami bulan lalu harap-harap cemas gitu ya melihat perkembangan kasus di Spanyol sampai tembus 200.000 kasus. Bagaimana keadaan di sana? Silakan Romo.
Ya, terima kasih Popo. Kalau dari jauh saja khawatir, apalagi kami yang di sini ya lebih khawatir. Dan tentu begini, mungkin saya mulai cerita saja langsung dengan pengalaman provinsi ini, provinsi Spanyol, tapi juga akan sedikit ada kaitannya dengan Spanyol secara umum sebagai negara. Yang menarik begini, hampir sama terjadi di Indonesia juga, atau juga di tempat lain. Rasa khawatir itu besar sekali. Saya membaca berita dan saya tadi malam sempat mencoba ngecek. Ada penelitian secara psikologis bahwa pada minggu-minggu pertama itu ada 51% dari penduduk Spanyol, orang Spanyol, itu khawatir, ya, merasa khawatir. Lalu 41% itu mengalami stres. Lalu 40%-nya bereaksi secara depresif. Jadi sungguh-sungguh dalam situasi ya bisa kita bayangkan semuanya situasi yang tidak mudah. Ya. Apalagi ketika Spanyol sempat, kalau pakai hitung-hitungan ranking gitu ya, sempat nomor 1 itu ya. Bahkan Italia dilewati. Kami semua yang di rumah ya tidak bisa apa-apa. Nah, yang menarik adalah begini, apa yang dibuat oleh provinsi Spanyol. Saya yakin hampir sama juga di provinsi lain. Jadi Romo Provinsial Spanyol itu membuat surat buat semua Jesuit di sini untuk ikut merasakan, ya, nadanya sama seperti apa yang dikatakan Romo Luis-Yarto tadi, ya, ikut merasakan apa yang bisa kita buat dalam masa-masa sulit ini. Ya. Dan respon dari para Yesuit sangat bagus. Nanti Frater Peter dan Frater Dani, saya enggak tahu Frater Dani masuk juga enggak di sini, karena ini sekarang dia lagi sakit katanya. Responnya positif, ya. Tapi menariknya begini, Yesuit Spanyol itu kan mayoritas orang tua, ya. Saya sempat bertanya, berapa persen sekarang yang umur 70 tahun ke atas ini? Kurang lebih sekitar 50%. Ya, 50% anggota mereka itu orang tua. Jadi dalam arti ini terkait dengan pandemi ini sebetulnya jadi apa ya? Yang paling dekat dengan orang yang paling mudah ketularan dengan penyakit ini. Artinya apa yang akan kita buat dengan orang yang mayoritas tua-tua begini? Nah, ada banyak tentu saja, karena di sini ada sekitar 4 atau 5 ya model-model rumah seperti Emmaus Girisonta itu ya. Nah, begini, untuk rumah-rumah yang tinggal di situ adalah Yesuit-Yesuit tua, mereka tentu dalam situasi total isolated ya, total lockdown, betul-betul tidak bisa pergi kemana-mana, bahkan diminta untuk tetap di ruangan, ya, di kamar mereka. Nah, sementara yang muda-muda ya membantu terlibat di situ ya, ke rumah-rumah, membantu memfasilitasi, bantu merawat atau mengantar makanan dan sebagainya dan sebagainya. Lalu saya kebetulan tinggal di Salamanca, ini juga rumah untuk yang tua-tua ya. Ada 60. Pada bulan Januari jumlah kami 60. 3 bulan lewat ada 9 yang meninggal. Ya. Memang tidak semua kena, artinya kematiannya identik dengan COVID ya. Ada yang memang kena COVID tapi ada yang tidak ya. Tapi kita tidak tahu kan. Kadang-kadang tes itu juga tidak jelas hasilnya apakah 100% kena atau tidak ya. Tapi 3 bulan ini kami kehilangan 9 anggota di rumah ini. Ya, otomatis kami ikuti gerak komunitas. Romo Superior mengatakan tetap tinggal, lalu aktivitas yang lain-lain agak dibatasi. Bahkan makan juga kami satu meja hanya 2 orang, biasanya satu meja 6 orang. Di mejanya jadinya butuh lebih banyak. Tapi kita tetap saling menjaga, artinya bicara, ngobrol dan sebagainya, saling menghibur. Dan saya merasa bahwa di sinilah kekuatan ya, menghibur, saling satu sama lain menghibur ya. Dalam situasi yang tidak mudah ini ya, menemukan new consciousness-nya itu tadi. Salah satunya menghibur ya, menghibur satu sama lain ya. Bahkan dalam penghiburan itu pun ada satu brother itu cerita, kita masih beruntung ya. Masih ada orang lain yang lebih susah atau mengalami lebih sulit daripada kita. Ya. Dan itu nanti diceritakan oleh Peter, ada beberapa skolastik yang juga terjun ke tempat-tempat tertentu untuk membantu itu. Itu yang bisa saya ceritakan dulu, karena mungkin terlalu lama nanti. Silakan mungkin Peter langsung saja nyambung.
Baik, silakan Diakon Peter, Frater Peter. Sudah hadir. Halo. Tes, Peter. Silakan kalau mau menambah. Halo.
Halo.
Frater Peter.
Oh ya.
Ya, silakan kalau
tadi
mau.
sempat putus.
Oke.
Saya berbagi pengalaman tentang kegiatan frater-frater di sini begitu aja ya. Karena tadi konteks secara umumnya sudah diceritakan Romo Niko. Kegiatan yang dilakukan para frater begitu menanggapi situasi COVID-19 sejak mulai karantina nasional atau lockdown itu 15 Maret 2020, beberapa dari frater khususnya yang memiliki latar belakang pendidikan kesehatan seperti dokter, perawat, dan beberapa lainnya yang tahu tentang obat-obatan dari bidang farmasi, itu ikut membantu di beberapa rumah-rumah Jesuit sepuh di sini, seperti Emmausnya sini, karena ada 6 Emmaus, lalu beberapa frater ikut membantu di beberapa rumah yang dekat dengan komunitas kami. Kegiatan lainnya yang dilakukan para frater skolastik, baik yang di teologan maupun yang sedang melakukan tahun orientasi kerasulan, juga membuat semacam buletin mingguan yang dinamai Entre Nosotros, itu seperti internos kita yang terbit bulanan, tapi di masa pandemik ini mereka membuat setiap minggu, sehingga bisa berbagi situasi masing-masing komunitas, kemudian penugasan-penugasan baru, dan juga situasi para romo, frater, bruder yang terdampak COVID-19. Itu lalu kegiatan-kegiatan lainnya seperti ada penemanan online juga, karena beberapa
Oke, tampaknya koneksinya kurang baik di sana ya. Kita bersabar dulu.
Tempatnya Peter.
Madrid ya Romo dia?
Dia di Madrid ya. Dia barusan selesai ujian BA.
Wow.
Oke, saya bisa lanjutkan. Mungkin
Baik, silakan.
Kalau dia nge-lag gitu. Gini, jadi memang Entre Nosotros itu seperti kita itu ya, jadi ada milis bersama, dikirim setiap minggu atau bahkan seminggu bisa 2 kali itu. Karena hari ini edisi terakhir, tadi redakturnya mengatakan ini buletin ke-21, redaksi terakhir, buletin terakhir, terus menceritakan keadaan. Semuanya, saya bisa membaca semua itu cerita yang menarik, saling menguatkan. Entah kegiatan Yesuit, entah itu kegiatan kolaborator atau rekan-rekan kerja Yesuit. Jadi semua ada di situ. Sekolah, paroki, universitas, dan semuanya di situ. Ada semua. Termasuk yang kena pandemik, siapa saja ya yang meninggal, ceritakan semua. Jadi betul-betul ya buat provinsi Spanyol peneguhan betul ya satu sama lain. Dan jadi tahu. Memang akhirnya ya kita enggak tahu akan sampai kapan. Sampai sekarang hari ini saja masih ada yang kena ya 200-an orang, tetapi memang sudah menurun tingkatnya. Tapi kita enggak tahu sampai kapan, dalam arti ya kita tetap saling menghibur meskipun kehidupan di sini sudah mulai normal. Ada 4 fase ya yang kita jalani. Sekarang kita di fase 2. Fase kedua. Mungkin 2 minggu lagi fase 3, lalu fase 4 itu betul-betul normal. Jadi semua sudah bisa berkegiatan normal. Fase 2 itu orang belum bisa keluar provinsi, tapi aktivitas harian sudah mulai. Artinya sudah orang bekerja, orang bisa jalan-jalan, itu fase 2. Fase 3 itu sudah bisa keluar provinsi, lalu fase 4 semua pesawat terbang sudah bisa jalan lagi dan sebagainya. Itu yang bisa saya tambahkan. Mungkin.
Baik Romo, terima kasih untuk sharingnya keadaan di sana. Kami jadi turut memahami dan turut punya bayangan apa yang terjadi di provinsi Spanyol dan apa yang menjadi geliat para Yesuit di sana bersama-sama dalam companionship, dalam kerjasama bersama-sama. Sebagai bentuk kegiatan berbagi kami juga ya, akan ada beberapa perwakilan frater yang akan sharing gitu ya, tentang bagaimana para skolastik di Provinsi Indonesia Serikat Yesus juga terlibat merasul ataupun terlibat berhadapan dengan COVID-19 ini dalam hidup harian dan kegiatan kerasulan mereka. Maka ya saya persilakan saja Frater Daryanto dari Koosani akan berbagi tentang apa yang kisah-kisahnya tentang bagaimana dia berhadapan dengan COVID-19 dan dalam kegiatan-kegiatan kerasulannya. Silakan Frater Daryanto, bisa diaktifkan mikrofonnya.
Baik, selamat sore Romo Provinsial, Romo Sesius, para Romo, teman-teman Frater, dan semua yang ikut dalam forum ini. Saya Daryanto dari Kolese Santo Ignatius Jogja. Kami komunitas para frater yang sedang belajar teologi di Yogyakarta. Di sini ada 20 anggota komunitas, termasuk para Romo juga yang tinggal di sini. Ada 11 frater dan 9 Romo kurang lebih. Tentu selama pandemi ini kami mencoba menyesuaikan dengan kondisi yang ada gitu ya. Kuliah dijalankan secara online, kemudian tentu kegiatan keluar menjadi sangat sedikit karena awal-awal tuh Jogja juga cukup ketat gitu ya. Kemudian di tempat kami juga ada beberapa Romo senior dengan ya kondisi yang juga sudah sakit begitu, beberapa sudah sakit, lalu maka kami sungguh hati-hati untuk menjaga kondisi kesehatan gitu ya, juga interaksi antar kami. Apa yang dilakukan para frater, selain bahwa kami juga mengikuti kuliah online, saya akan cerita khusus pengalaman saya dan Frater Deo terlibat di SPM Realino, Seksi Pengabdian Masyarakat Yayasan Realino Jogja, karya sosial CK JESUS Provinsi Indonesia, yang sekarang dipimpin oleh Romo Maswan Susinto. Di sana, saya dan Frater Deo membantu Romo Maswan bersama para volunteer, orang-orang muda, untuk mendistribusi bahan pangan kepada kaum marginal kota. Ada 4 dapur umum yang kami bantu selama kurang lebih 3 bulan, gitu ya. Jadi ini tahap ketiga, bulan ketiga untuk mendistribusikan bahan pangan. Ada komunitas Bongsuwong, kemudian pekerja seks di itu ya Sosrowijayan, kemudian komunitas di Parangkusumo, Bantul, kemudian perkampungan sosial Pingit. Yang mengagumkan untuk saya adalah ketika kami membuka donasi, itu banyak orang bermurah hati untuk membantu sesama yang kesusahan. Dengan tentu kondisi warga yang kami bantu itu tidak bisa mencari kerja, gitu ya. Kemudian kami merasa bahwa ketika kami datang memberikan bantuan itu bukan datang sebagai, mungkin bukan sebagai seorang pahlawan gitu ya, tapi justru menyalurkan kebaikan banyak orang itu kepada saudara-saudara kita yang tidak bisa bekerja. Saya sendiri ekstra di perkampungan sosial Pingit, dan warga di sana kebanyakan bekerja di sekitar Malioboro gitu ya, atau pasar barang bekas yang tentu tutup. Kondisi Jogja di bidang pariwisata yang sangat diandalkan itu mati begitu ya. Jadi mereka kehilangan pekerjaan. Itu ya mungkin kehilangan harapan gitu ya akan kehidupan mereka begitu karena nggak dapat pekerjaan. Mungkin bagi mereka prinsipnya bukan lagi takut tertular COVID, tapi takut mati kelaparan gitu. Itu ekstrimnya begitu ya. Itu kemudian yang menarik lagi adalah bahwa keterlibatan kami ini sebagai volunteer itu juga perlu ditata gitu ya. Altruisme itu bagus, tapi perlu di-manage supaya juga tidak tertular, supaya tetap aman. Maka saya dan Frater Deo sempat dikarantina di rumah belakang itu. Kami juga sempat rapid test gitu ya. Tes COVID itu karena kami belanja di Indo-Grosir yang waktu itu disinyalir menjadi salah satu klaster penularan. Itu pengalaman pribadi saya, dan teman-teman juga sebagai komunitas juga sempat membantu warga di sini dengan berbagi bahan pangan di RT sebelah. Begitu, Frater.
Luar biasa, Daryanto. Sangat konkret pengalamannya bagaimana menjadi man of spirit dan man of action ya, seperti yang diceritakan Pater Luis tadi. Mungkin ada lagi sekarang dari Jakarta, dari Kolese Hermanum. Ada Frater Wibi yang akan berbagi tentang pengalamannya mendampingi promosi panggilan di tengah situasi pandemi ini. Silakan Frater Wibi.
Baik, terima kasih. Perkenalkan, nama saya Frater Wibi. Saya tinggal di komunitas Kolese Hermanum, Jakarta. Komunitas frater-frater frater dan bruder yang sedang studi filsafat di Sekolah Tinggi Filsafat di Acara. Ya, secara umum kegiatan kami ya seperti dikatakan Frater Daryanto tadi ya, kuliah serba online, lalu tugas-tugas dikerjakan di rumah, take home exam segala macam. Banyak hal kami lakukan di rumah, dan salah satu pokok yang ingin saya ceritakan ya tadi sudah disinggung oleh Frater Popo gitu, soal pendampingan promosi panggilan gitu. Nah, sekaligus memperkenalkan, jadi korban kami itu para perompang atau mereka yang berminat masuk ke dalam Serikat Yesus tapi sudah bekerja gitu. Itu juga hadir di forum ini. Ada Rio, ada Frankie, ada Michael, lalu sebentar. Saya rasa itu ya. Nah, yang menjadi menarik begini, biasanya kalau perompang itu diadakan secara offline gitu ya, ada pertemuan tatap muka, tapi ini sekarang harus dibuat secara online gitu. Materi harus diberikan secara online dan mengandaikan orang meluangkan waktu untuk ya hening gitu ya, biasanya weekend hari Sabtu sampai Minggu gitu. Nah, kalau dikondisikan dalam suatu rumah gitu ya, di rumah retret misalnya, itu mudah gitu. Tetapi menjadi tantangan ketika itu dilakukan secara online gitu. Tetapi kemudian mendampingi teman-teman perompang itu memberi ya juga memperkaya saya gitu sebagai skolastik, sebagai frater, sebagai jesuit gitu. Bahwa pergulatan teman-teman perompang itu untuk mempertahankan panggilan gitu. Tadi ada yang mengangkat isu mengenai bagaimana beriman di tengah pandemi gitu. Ya saya selalu dengan mereka gitu, di tengah pandemi tetap bisa komit gitu. Ini panggilan yang ingin saya perjuangkan. Saya tahu di sana saya menjadi penuh gitu. Saya jatuh cinta dengan Tuhan gitu, dan ingin masuk ke dalam serikat. Dan mendengar sharing mereka begitu ya, bergulat dengan hidup yang konkret, itu meneguhkan bahwa ya Tuhan betul-betul berkarya dalam hidup konkret mereka. Dan sekaligus menjadi pertanyaan refleksi juga gitu untuk saya. Ya saya udah buat apa sih? Gitu. Saya punya banyak hal gitu ya, di komunitas semua sudah tersedia begitu. Sedangkan di luar sana masih ada orang-orang yang masih harus bekerja. Gitu. Dan di tengah pandemi ini saya bisa berkontribusi apa? Ya sedikit banyak pertanyaan ini ya saya pelajari dari mereka. Gitu. Bagaimana mereka menghayati panggilan di tengah pandemi gitu ya. Dan saya kok merasa panggilan itu semakin kuat gitu kalau panggilan itu ditantang gitu. Komitmen itu akan semakin tumbuh gitu kalau ada tantangan dan bukan dihadapkan pada sesuatu yang nyaman terus-menerus. Jadi ya suatu tantangan tersendiri untuk mendampingi promosi panggilan secara online, tapi juga ini suatu bentuk baru bagaimana promosi panggilan itu juga tetap mungkin gitu, di tengah tantangan pandemi yang ada gitu. Dan saya yakin ya yang bekerja bukan cuma tim promosi panggilan saja gitu, tapi ya pertama-tama yang bekerja adalah Tuhan, karena ya Dia yang memanggil dan saya percaya Dia juga yang akan menyelesaikan. Demikian Frater Popo, terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih. Kalau tadi dari Daryanto kita mendengar sisi fisik, keterlibatan langsung dari Frater Wibi, kita mendapat insight tentang keterlibatan di bidang rohani dan spiritual dalam pendampingan. Jadi lengkap ya, fisik, rohani gitu ya. Semua punya peluang untuk bergerak bersama, untuk menemukan cara-cara baru, mendengarkan apa yang menjadi kehendak Tuhan di tengah pandemi ini gitu ya. Sebagai penutup, apakah dari Romo Niko, tak terasa waktu sudah 6.30 ya, dari Romo Niko apakah ada peneguhan akhir gitu ya sebelum kita?
Ya, saya hanya nambahin sedikit saja. Mungkin ada beberapa yang sudah membaca artikel yang diterjemahkan yang tulisan Javier Mayoni, meskipun sebetulnya belum muncul ya, tapi memang diizinkan untuk disebarkan secara terbatas itu saja. Jadi yang menarik dari pengalaman Ignatius dari beberapa fase hidupnya yang mungkin bisa dikatakan identik atau memang betul pada saat itu ada yang pandemi juga, tapi ada juga beberapa tadi sudah diceritakan sama Romo Luis Yarto yang bisa dikaitkan dengan pandemik juga. Yang bisa kita pelajari dari pengalaman itu adalah bagaimana kita tetap mau menekuni hidup itu ya, tetap menekuni hidup itu. Jadi Ignatius tidak berhenti atau depresi atau bingung, tidak, tapi dia tetap masuk, mau lebih dalam lagi, mendengarkan. Kalau tadi bahasa dari Romo Luis Yarto, mau mendengarkan ya, recenter to Jesus ya, mendengarkan lebih dalam apa yang ingin dikatakan Tuhan lewat pengalaman itu. Dan saya yakin bahwa kita juga pasti semua, entah di Indonesia atau di sini atau dimanapun kita berada, dengan segala situasi yang melingkupi ya, politik, ekonomi dan sebagainya, kita pasti ikut mendengarkan juga itu. Ya. Nah, dan satu hal saya sedikit mengutip dari tulisannya Mayoni itu, kita jangan takut ya, jangan takut. Apapun yang ada di hadapan kita, yang sedang kita hadapi, kita tidak boleh takut. Ya. Satu hal saya masih ingat, Romo Luis Yarto kemarin itu sempat ngobrol dengan saya di meja makan. Mengapa orang zaman sekarang atau masa pandemi ini mudah, tidak hanya pandemi tapi juga masa-masa modern ini mudah takut? Sementara orang-orang zaman Ignatius tidak ada yang takut, boleh dikatakan zaman itu tidak ada yang takut. Lalu saya jawab spontan, ya Romo, zaman itu orang lahir sudah langsung ada sakit, ada perang dan sebagainya. Bukan itu jawabannya. Karena kita zaman modern ini sudah tidak terbiasa ditantang lagi. Dia jawab begitu. Bahwa ada zaman Ignatius ada tantangan bahwa ada penyakit, ada perang dan sebagainya sehingga orang jadi tidak takut. Nah, kayaknya kita butuh ditantang terus supaya kita tidak takut. Itu saja tambahan dari saya. Memang waktu mungkin bisa lebih lanjut kalau mau ngomong lagi tentang Ignatius dan pengalaman hidup kita, tapi saya yakin, saya merasa apa yang kita sharingkan, kita bagi dalam Zoom meeting ini ya saling menguatkan, saling menghibur, tapi juga saling mengencourage kita untuk terus melakukan apa yang sudah kita buat ya dalam kehidupan kita selanjutnya. Itu saja, Popo. Makasih.
Terima kasih Romo Niko untuk peneguhan akhirnya gitu ya. Dan teman-teman, para hadirin, para pemirsa gitu ya, kita sudah sampai di akhir acara kita pada sore hari ini. Nah, sebelum kita tutup, saya sekali lagi ingin mengucapkan terima kasih untuk partisipasi dan dukungan dari para pemirsa semua di YouTube maupun di Zoom yang hadir untuk turut bertanya aktif, tapi juga untuk turut mendengarkan dan menimba inspirasi bersama dari Pater Luis Yarto. Terima kasih pula kembali kepada Pater Luis Yarto yang sudah meluangkan waktu, Romo Niko yang sudah hadir bersama dengan kita, Diakon Peter yang jauh-jauh dari Spanyol. Semoga Tuhan memberkati para romo dan para frater sekalian di Spanyol sana dalam masa recovery ini.
Terima kasih.
Dan saya juga mohon maaf apabila ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang belum sempat terjawab. Kata magister saya dulu di novisiat, biarlah pertanyaan itu tetap ada gitu ya. Biarlah pertanyaan itu justru memacu kita untuk bergairah mencari kembali jawabannya secara masing-masing. Nah, video ini kan diupload di YouTube. Mungkin nanti ketika ada waktu luang bisa di-replay kembali, sehingga jawaban-jawaban itu nanti akan keluar dengan sendirinya dan teman-teman mendapatkan insight semua. Baik, sebelum berakhir, saya ingin mengajak teman-teman semua untuk hening, dan kita menciptakan ruang silence sebentar untuk merumuskan paling tidak satu kata kunci atau satu kalimat kunci yang bisa kita bawa sebagai inspirasi, sebagai bekal untuk hidup kita ke depannya. Kita hening sejenak. Baik, terima kasih sekali lagi. Semoga pembicaraan sore hari ini bisa menyentuh head, heart, dan hand kita untuk menjadikan hidup dan perutusan kita lebih berdaya ubah, atraktif, relevan, dan transformatif. Sebagai pesan sponsor, perhatikan terus media-media sosial yang dikelola oleh Serikat Yesus untuk acara-acara mendatang. Itu saja dari saya. Salam, selamat malam, dan terima kasih. Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam. Sampai jumpa di acara-acara berikutnya.